So what I want to show you is your setup for the assessment facial, what products you need to use, how you open them, how you close them, and what you need to do in terms of order of play for your facial. So we've got our little setup here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get your client on the bed. So you've sterilised your bed, you've put the couch roll down, you get your client on the bed and you are going to put on your gloves. So there's a couple of pairs of gloves here. Generally after the extraction, we're going to change gloves. Change your gloves as many times as you need to, but generally we can just sanitize in between. But we definitely want to change our gloves after the extraction element. So we've got our gloves on. I would put a bit of hand sanitizer on as soon as you've put your gloves on. Then we are going to put your client's hairnet on. After we've done the hairnet, we start with our cleanse. Now, all of the products for the assessment day will be lined up in order for you. Obviously, you're not allowed any hints in terms of the order of the facial. However, the products will give you an idea. So we want to cleanse. We'll have our water filled up in our cleansing bowl. Cleanse the face, get rid of all of that makeup. And what we do when we're cleansing, we take the lid off the pot. We'll use a disposable. We'll get the product out, put it on the back of your hand, and then we get rid of disposables in our little kidney dish here. And then you go on to putting that product onto the face and cleansing the skin. Once we've cleansed, you want to take your picture. Now the skin is all clear. Generally, you'll just have your phone popped in here. So you pick up your phone, take your picture, put your phone back in, hand sanitize. If there's any element where you're like, oh, should I be changing my gloves? Should I hand sanitize? Just hand sanitize. Too much is better. So we've cleansed, we have taken a picture, and then we want to move on to our skin analysis. Always do your skin analysis under the magnifying glass. I mean, you can have the light on, you don't need to put the light on, but you can do. And what you're doing in that skin analysis is looking for areas of the skin that you need to be cautious of, have a feel of the skin. And then within the consultation, within the process, when you're doing your steaming, you can make notes on your consultation form. Skin analysis is really important. Once you finish your skin analysis, you come back and you do a second cleanse. And the reason we do a second cleanse is generally, although we are using the Evolve products within our facial, we would have done the skin analysis on our clients under our magnifying glass and ascertained whether the client has dry skin or oily skin or sensitive skin, and we would then use products from a certain range. So say, for example, a client has sensitive skin, you would then for the second cleanse use a product from your calming range. But obviously for the assessment we are just using the Evolve range. But if ever you get asked why we do a second cleanse, that is the reason. So we have done our cleanse, we've done our photo, we've done our skin analysis, and we have done our second cleanse. Once we finish the cleanse, we move on to our exfoliate. And again, we take the lid off, we use the little spatula, we put the product on the back of our hand, we put the lid on, get rid of the spatula, and then we exfoliate. When we're removing cleanser, we're removing exfoliator, you use your cotton pads, you dip them in the water, and you are removing those products. Once we've exfoliated, we move on to our steam. What I would say with your steamer, before your client comes in for the facial, we'll put the steamer on, heat up that water. Always make sure your steamer is pointing upwards. This is so important. If it's not facing upwards, before and after that facial, it is an automatic refer. So make sure the steamer is pointing upwards. When the steamer's ready, so I tend to, before the facial, heat it up. Then you've got your consultation, your other elements of the facial. Before you start your exfoliation, you can put it back on. So by the time you've finished your exfoliation, that steam will be coming out. You just need to be really cautious of how you use your steamer, but this will be shown to you within the facial demonstration video. So whilst you are steaming, you're going to leave that steamer on your client's face for around 5 minutes. What you want to do is get your clipboard out, your consultation notes, and you make notes on your consultation form from the skin analysis. The assessor and the IQA is not going to want you doing nothing at any which point. So just take your time and write your notes whilst that steamer is doing its thing. Obviously, if you've touched a clipboard, you can take your gloves off to write your notes, then put a new pair of gloves on, or you just hand sanitize in between. Then what you're going to do is your extraction, and generally you're going to have your gloves on. You're going to use a little cotton pad, wrap it around your finger, and you are going to extract any comedones, cool blackheads, comedones within your consultation when you're talking to your client. And then we are going to do our extraction. All disposables go in here. After your extraction, change your gloves, fresh set of gloves. After we've extracted, we are going to tone. So you're going to put some of this product on your cotton pads and just wipe that over your client's face. Once we've finished the tone, we move on to our massage. So what we use for the massage is a bioretinol vitamin C booster, and then we do our lovely massage, including our effleurage, our petrissage, and our tapotement methods. Once we've finished our massage, we move on to the mask. So we've got our bioretinol gold mask, which is beautiful. Again, what we want to do is lid off, use our disposable, back of the hand, get rid of it. And you can do that as many times as you need to if you need more product. And then what we do is we use our brush to apply the mask. Within the assessment, you really want to leave your mask on for around 10 minutes, depending on your timings. So what I tend to do when the mask is on is just give my clients a lovely massage in kind of a circular motions with a brush. It feels beautiful. Again, you'll see exactly what I mean when you watch the assessment facial video. When you finish that mask, you remove with your water and your pads. Always just make sure that you do take your lids off, pop them back on afterwards, and always disposables into your empty. Once we finish the mask, we're nearing the end. So we've got our Daily Renew facial cream here, which is our moisturizer. Then we do our eye cream, which we've got here, and then you end with an SPF. And when you've finished, the last thing you would do is pick up your phone and you take your after picture. Once you've taken your after picture, your client will sit up, you'll do the aftercare, and then you'll get them to give you some feedback and just sign the consent form.